Okay, Doomsday Eden is here, or it's almost here, and we need to learn about it a little bit. We need to talk about the things that we're going to see and the ways that it's going to be different. And I'm going to start by giving you some of the differences that you may notice when you first start going into Eden as opposed to original Doomsday. I don't want this video to be insanely long, so I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about everything, but I do have a document in many languages for each person to read if they would like. I'll post a link below. Because the primary activities of New Eden don't take place in your normal state, I wanted to show how your normal state will look, and then the way that that's different from Old Doomsday. I wanted to get started on talking about the New Eden version of Doomsday. I wanted to go over this stuff because it seems like that's all anybody wants to know about anymore. They want to know what information is released, want to see any special updates or anything like that in the game. Developers are very good about not releasing that information. So I wanted to point a couple of things out real quick. The state that I opened a small new farm in is in the New Eden version of the game right now. So as you can see, the world map is pretty similar. There are some major changes that I will point out in just a minute, but this part of the map is the same state that I'm in, but as you can see, there's still regular alliance centers and still bases and so on and so forth. The biggest change that you're going to find in the same state map is that there are no more resource tiles to take. There are no more special tiles that you can see. And the main reason for that is that the enemy that you're fighting against can't come to your state to fight. Something that I know will have a lot of interest from people is the different heroes that will be available from this season of Doomsday. The heroes are Crusher, who is best when leading vehicles, Hunk, who is best when leading fighters, Valkyrie, who is best when leading shooters, Sven, who is best when leading fighters, the Patriot, who is best when leading shooters, and the Wanderer, who is best when leading fighters. Later I can make a separate video going over these heroes and their individual skills, but for now I will leave it at that and move on to Doomsday New Eden. Alright, so I'm going to begin by showing you how to actually get into New Eden as part of the Doomsday Conquest. First, you go to this icon for the Doomsday Conquest event. You go into the season menu, and then here at the bottom you see where it says enter. When you hit enter, it's going to have to load the new page, and it'll bring up something we're a little more familiar with. As far as the basic requirements of New Eden, they are very similar to original Doomsday. You can occupy tiles. These tiles have different immunity ratings. Your immunity goes up as you increase the value of your virus research center, virus recovery center, excuse me. With that being the same, understanding that the difference with New Eden versus regular Doomsday is that you are in the past. That's what the premise is here. So the past makes it so that you're unable to use teleports. As you can see, there's no teleport option there. So if I wanted to move over to this other location over here, the only way to get there is to bridge. So as much as people try to avoid it, it's a super important skill to have developed, so that you can fully understand why bridging is so important. I want to show you what the objective of the game is. On the state map, you can see all of these different buildings here. Everything that's white is not currently occupied. It doesn't have any owner or anything like that in the alliance that has gone to it yet. All the red buildings have been occupied. The purpose of the game, that is New Eden, is to occupy cities, capitals, and ultimately the center that's here, that's the world capital. But each of these little areas right here is a city that you can check out. And in order to be able to do that, bridging to these checkpoints is going to be super important. As you can see, there's mountains all around the entire map in between each section. So not only do these physically prevent you from going from the dirt area into the grass area where you can get the higher level resource tiles, they also prevent you from getting to those buildings. So getting to occupying and then passing through these checkpoints is going to be really important for us. And the only way to get to them is to make a bridge. As you move closer to checkpoints and to cities and things, you're going to want to be able to move your base so that you don't have to send your troops so far. On 2x2 occupied tiles, you can place this thing right here, which is called a relocation point. Once you finish building it, you can then relocate your base to that location. Once you relocate your base to that new location, it becomes the permanent home of your base that stays in Eden. So this base right here is my Eden base. When I want to go back to the real world, if you will, back to the regular map, I'll hit exit. And just like it did before, it loads, takes me back here. That base that I placed there stays there. And it can be attacked just as if I was operating that base currently. In Eden, it can't be shielded and it can't be protected in any special way. As a way of final summary, it's very important to move into New Eden as quickly as possible once the season begins. You need to begin moving toward checkpoints and taking checkpoints as soon as you can. Once you get into the area where there are cities, begin taking cities as soon as possible. If you're strong enough, take capitals. But in the process, make sure that you monitor your own infection immunity and work on increasing it, which means taking the tiles that you need to increase it, using your specialty points wisely, and finally, making it to this center point here to try to win by taking the world center. If you can do that, as you can see here at the top, it's 81 million guard power. So it's going to take a really strong team. More than likely it will need to be rallied because the current state that I'm in doesn't have the ability to get there yet. I'm not sure exactly how to do it, but it's going to be a matter of learning the strategy and working together as a team to make everything work. I alluded to it a little bit earlier, but I wanted to make sure that I didn't miss this, so it's coming in kind of as an add-on on this video. There are no duels at this time. Right now, there are 50 days until the next duel. So I don't know how it's going to work with the new Eden gameplay, but it doesn't matter, at least for the first while. So I think maybe the duels come after the season gets over, but there's nothing to worry about with it at first. I'm really excited for this new season, this new gameplay type. I think it'll add a lot to the game. It will take some getting used to, but the rewards that also come from it are pretty great as well. There are a few different kinds of rewards, which we can talk about at a later time, but I think that it's going to be really fun, and hopefully we can all work together and have a good time. Thanks very much for watching this video. If it was helpful, like and subscribe to my channel so that I can continue making good content for you. And if you have any questions, please put a comment below.